This is a recording involving the failure of my recording equipment. Ha. Yeah, sucks. This is a rough summary, to the best of my recollection, of the events of Werewolf the Apocalypse session number 2 for the CKC Werewolf group. In our wonderful cast of characters, we have Bambooshoots is Buttons, a Homid Ragabash Bonar. Evil Shek is Aorosa, who is a Windego Homid Ahroun. Wolfkin is Raiden Roule, who is a Lupus, or not, he's a Metis Red Talon Theurge. Dessyking is Caden Tyrel, who is a Lupus Fianna Ahroun. And also joining us is going to be the Striped Protector, who is currently working on a Lupus Uktena Theurge. However, they were not able to join us for the session. The current players for the session were Wolfkin, Dez, and Evil, who were the only ones able to make it. Bamboo was unable to make it for the session, and Strike Protector didn't have their character sheet finished. They still have a little bit of stuff to finish up on that. But anyway, the session involved, at the end of the previous session, when they arrived at the warehouse in the middle of downtown Seattle. After watching the events fold out, two vans, one was already parked, another one was backing up, was being unloaded with some very kind of strange cargo by heavily armed guards and scientific personnel. Wolfkin, going to check it out, transformed into, or was in Lupus, and proceeded to stalk around the building, noticing that there were security cameras hanging on everywhere, and managing to avoid these security cameras, scope out the building a little bit better. For Dez and Evil, their characters both got to the fire escape while also avoiding the cameras, and climbed up onto the roof to try and get an inspection of what's inside the warehouse. Through the glass window on top of the warehouse, they noticed that on the second floor of this two-story warehouse was a very kind of clean room environment. Very clean. There looked to be notable scientists and some people in hazmat suits walking around messing with equipment. Wolfkin, on the other hand, while trying to figure out exactly the best way to get inside, decided to go try to pry the lock open. However, in his rush, triggered the security alarms. This involved two of the heavily armored guards coming outside and begin firing. Hearing the commotion, both Dez and Evil ran to the edge of the building and jumped off in an effort to attempt to aid their current, not quite packmate yet. They're not a pack yet. However, both failing to land on their feet, end up landing flat on their faces right next to the security guards. The rest of the battle was swift and decisive in the werewolf's favor, as, if I remember correctly, Desro ripping out. Actually, no, Wolfkin ripped out a throat, and Desro lopped off an entire head, both of them using a bite, taking them off. However, the inside, now with the door wide open and Garou fully in sight, which these humans were immune to the delirium, that's something to be of note of, went and started evacuating the building by moving the cage that they had brought with them, that the others started to smell as Garou or wolf. They're not exactly sure. Were being reloaded back into the vans in the back of the warehouse. Dez's character decided to leap over the building to cut across the side. He managed to get up on top and on the far side of the ceiling window. Wolfkin decided to run around the building. However, in his current state, something strange is affecting their bodies. Their movements are becoming very sluggish at this point. They are both suffering about a -3 or -4 to any dice pools involving their dexterity or their wits, as their movements were becoming a lot more sluggish and hard to control. Evil, on the other hand, decided to take the shortest route possible by running through the warehouse. His character was shot at multiple times. He took quite a little bit of damage, but managed to soak it all. By the time he gets out to the back by the loading dock, where all of this originally kind of started, Wolf runs around the corner, sees another armed security guard there. Evil gets behind the security guard and tries for a jump at the back to pounce on him and bite at his neck. Dez jumps over finishes the rest of his movement over to the ground to the side of the van that has everything loaded into, including some security personnel, some scientists, and the cage that smells of wolf. Lifting it up and flipping it, Des reaches in, rips off one of the doors of the van, grabs the cage, and hands the door off to Wolf as they notice a mech. This isn't a massive mech, mind you. This is about the size of a Krynos werewolf, about 9 feet tall. But it's got twin Gatling guns on one side, and it aims and starts firing at the three of them on that loading dock. Evil takes most of the damage, while Wolf and Des manage to get a little bit of cover. Deciding that discretion is a better part of valor, they decide to make a run for it. Now, granted, there are in Krynos, and there are two Krynos werewolves. Evil and not evil. Evil is in Lupus. In Krynos currently are Des and Wolf. Wolf has the other door from the van, ripped it off, and is using it as a shield as bullets go flying at the three of them. Des is currently holding the cage that has the prisoner, and in an effort to avoid, as opposed to running out into the middle of the street in Krynos and causing a massive panic, it's decided to shift over to the spirit world. As the three of them manage to shift over, Des has a little bit more difficulty because he's pulling another person with him in the case of this box, or this cage that has this wolf, maybe Wolfkin or werewolf, it's unknown at this time, through the gauntlet into the Umbra. Wolf's character manages to get there first, and as Dez's character pops in, they notice that there are three weaver spirits, three spider spirits. Amongst all the cobwebs that connect the entire city together, there are three on top of the building they just escaped from in the Umbra, and looking at them and mentioning that that the three werewolves need to be caught, or else their leader will not be pleased with them. And that's currently where the session ended. I do apologize. My recording device, my Fraps, started doing some weird stuff where I'm just getting like tidbits. I'm getting milliseconds recorded, and not all the milliseconds are there. There are jumps in the volume that I don't currently have the processing power or the software to actually fix those problems. So this is a general summary, and hopefully next time when we do this, we'll have a couple more players. Bambooshoots will be here, Stripe Protector will be here, and we'll be able to actually conclude the story on with everyone's involvement, like the previous video. And I do apologize for that. I have no idea what's wrong with my Fraps. My Fraps is a piece of crap. So, yes, this is Draco Raylan, hoping that you join us next time for another mission into Werewolf. And to be frank, I don't know when I will be running this next weekend, because I will be in Wichita Saturday night and Sunday for the Air Capital Comic Con on Sunday the 17th. So if anyone listening is in the Wichita area, stop on by the convention center, come say hi, check out some of my prints. I've got some werewolf prints of Apocalypse and Forsaken, so please do stop on by and stop by for a chat. Alright, well, this is Draco. I'm going to let you all guys go. Have a wonderful week, and hopefully we may have a session recorded on Friday. I haven't decided. I don't know. Haven't decided, and I don't know if anyone else is going to be up for it. So, alright. Later.